did you come up with the kind of attitude that you have toward music, which is very different from what you hear on the radio?
Again, it wasn't anything that we tried to do. It's just the case that when we actually stabilised the lineup of the band, which was about 1972, when I joined, there was Annie, John Tout, Terry, Sullivan and Mickey. It was just the way that I think we all came from such different musical backgrounds, that the way we played and the sound we produced when we actually started recording, that became Renaissance. There was no real conscious effort to, oh, let's be a classical rock group, you know, which I never liked that tag anyway. It's just the way we played our instruments, that when the sounds were together, that's what you heard was Renaissance.
I started going in for talent competitions, which I kept winning, so therefore I thought there's something there. So that's when I decided to go for singing lessons. And first of all, I went to Shirley Bassey's singing teacher, Harold Miller. And because he only taught in the daytime, he couldn't take me on, and I had to carry on working to get the money. So he put me in touch with this opera singer, and she taught me for 9 months, and she taught me how to breathe correctly, and in the end I found my own voice. I would advise anybody to do that. It's the best thing you could possibly do if you want to be a singer, but go to somebody that's that kind of trainer rather than to somebody that's a rock and roll teacher.
1970-91, there was a large transition period going on within the band. John and Terry decided to leave. They both had enough of music business. And we weren't totally happy with our record company at the time. We've always been, because of the kind of band we are, I've always felt closer to a small independent label where you can get instant sort of rapport with the vice president or whatever without having to go through a whole army of secretaries, various people. So our contract was coming to an end with our last company. They were keen on renewing it, but we felt we were just becoming a catalogue number, and because of the change in personnel that was going down, we felt we needed somebody that was sort of really going to nurture us through what was obviously going to be for us a difficult period. We were still writing and touring, but we looked around till we found what we thought was the right record company at that particular time that was right for the band. And of course, until Mike and Gavin came along, we've only actually just stabilised the lineup of the band now. The two previous guys we had, Peter Barron and Peter Gosling, were only really session musicians. So they never actually were going to be permanent members of the band by their own design and ours, really. So it's the first time in 3 years we've had a stabilised lineup. I put an advert in the Melody Maker, which is a magazine in England, which I'm sure you know of, where all the musicians buy that on Wednesday and turn to the back page immediately and see what jobs are going. And Gavin was actually the last drummer out of about 80 that we saw to come down and get the gig. It's typical Renaissance, that is. The last person is always the one that gets the gig, you know.